Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a midweek previewing Premier League, Champions League and Championship action. Starting off on Tuesday though, when a major game in the Champions League, Manchester United hosting Atletico Madrid with a 1-1 scoreline after the first leg. And yeah, you'd say United will be happy to come into this one level, and yeah, at home it gives them a great opportunity to do so. And yeah, I think it'll be a tight game, definitely not much to split two sides. Atletico may be slightly better, but I'd say United, I just fancy them to nick this. I think Ronaldo will be right up for this against the Rails rivals. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to Wednesday, and Chelsea will face Loss, presuming they can get there. But I mean, Thomas Tuchel did say he would drive the coach if he had to. So yeah, I presume they can get there. And yeah, Chelsea come into this one with a 2-0 lead, and obviously, like we keep saying, preparations for this will be, of course, majorly disrupted by everything that's going on. But you know, you'd still fancy Chelsea, even if they don't win this game. I think they will just nick it 1-0. But yeah, even if they don't, just to have enough to comfortably get through, really. Moving on then to the two Premier League games on Wednesday, starting off at the Amex with Brighton and Tottenham. And yeah, Brighton on a dreadful run of form, lost the last 5 at the moment and are slipping into the bottom half of the table. Tottenham in 8th place, and really after the defeat at the weekend, they need a win here to have any chance really of getting back into the top 4 races, unlikely as it may seem. But with Arsenal playing Liverpool, this is absolute last chance to win, and I think they will get the win against them massively outside out of form Brighton side. So yeah, 2-0. Moving on then to Arsenal v Liverpool in a massive game, not only for the title race but for Arsenal as well, in their top 4 hopes. Arsenal, of course, sitting in the top 4, looking comfortable at the moment in that position with the amount of games in hand, etc, etc. But you know, it's Arsenal, you never know. And Liverpool, yeah, this is the exact time when you don't want to be playing an Arsenal form with the form they're on. So you know, it's not confirmed. They need to work hard for this win, because yeah, it's far from a given, like I'm saying. And to be honest, I can see Arsenal grinding out a point here. I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on then, Everton host Newcastle on Thursday in the Premier League, and yeah, this is a crucial game for Everton. Newcastle, you'd say, despite the loss of the weekend, as unlucky as it was with some refereeing decisions, they're home and hopes now, really. But Everton, 2 losses on a row in all comps. Yeah, they're in really bad form, and it's starting to look, relegation is starting to look really, really serious threat for Everton now against an informed Newcastle side. Probably a bad time to play them, but I think they will just be able to grind out a point. I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on into Championship, we've got a full round of Championship fixtures this week. Starting off at Oakwell Bar, where Barnsley host Bristol City. And yeah, Barnsley, we've seen recently in recent games, they definitely are picking up 2 home draws, but you know, it could have been so much better had they not just fallen away late in the games. And they're playing a Bristol City side who are mid-table, but you know, beating Blackburn away, great result last time. They'll take confidence into this one, but I just feel like Barnsley need this victory more, and it's got to finally come, and I've got a feeling it will here. I'm going to say 1-0 to Barnsley, and a huge result. Moving on then, Birmingham take on Middlesbrough at St Andrews, and Birmingham, yeah, you'd say they're probably safe at the moment, nothing really to worry about in 19th, against the Middlesbrough side who 1 point from the last 2. I mean, like, they're still in and around the playoff race, but they do need to start picking up results to continue that momentum. And yeah, against the Birmingham side, just in the middle of the table, lower middle of the table, not doing too well. This is an absolute must win, and I do think they will have the quality to get it. I'm going to say 2-0 to Borough. Moving on then, Blackburn take on Derby at Ewood Park, and yeah, for Blackburn, this is a must-win game, really. I mean, we've seen recently how much they're struggling to score. It's just ridiculous, really, without Brereton Diaz. And Derby, yeah, I mean, like, it's looking tough for them to survive at the moment, isn't it? They're just not picking up the results. But, you know, against the Blackburn side that just can't score and are on really bad form, this is a big opportunity to do so. But Blackburn will be thinking the same thing. I just think home advantage will just do it for them. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to probably the banker of the weekend, and that's banker of the week, Bournemouth taking on Reading. And yeah, Bournemouth 2-0 win over Derby last time out, and yeah, sitting comfortably in second place against a Reading side who, let's face it, had a good first game under Paul Ince, but ever since then it's just gone rapidly downhill, and they've been dreadful recently, and you know, still teetering right on the edge of the relegation zone. And to be honest, it seems like a matter of time before they drop in, and I'm expecting another comfortable win for Bournemouth here. I'm going to say 3-0 here. Moving on then to West Brom, who host Fulham at the Hawthorns, and yeah, West Brom coming to this one off the back of that great gun pack against Huddersfield last month, so they'll come into this one full of confidence. 4 points from the last two against the Fulham side, draw against Barnsley last time out, but except for that, on a great run of form. And yeah, Fulham will come into this one full of confidence. As we know how good they are, and yeah, you'd say it probably will be a hard game for West Brom this one, and I fully expect Fulham to get the picture. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to Wednesday's games, and starting off at Bloomfield Road, where Blackpool host Sheffield United, and Blackpool 3 wins on the trot now, really coming along nicely. Sitting in 12, having a great first season back in the Championship against the Sheffield United side, who got thrashed at the weekend. Did not see this result coming at all, but yeah, a really, really disappointing result. But you know, they are sitting in a playoff place for now, but so yeah, they do need to improve their form. That has to just be a one-off, and I think it will be. I think Sheffield United immediate war, and I think they'll get the win. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then, Cardiff take on Stoke at the Cardiff City Stadium, and Cardiff yeah, they come into this one a decent run of form, 2 wins and a draw in the last 3 games. Stoke 2 draws, but yeah, looking at the teams away, Barnsley away, Peterborough away, I mean, like, it's not great, is it? And yeah, Michael O'Neill must be feeling really under pressure for his job at the moment, because it just hasn't been going well recently, while Steve Morrison's Cardiff are on the up. And yeah, I think this will be another draw, to be honest. But yeah, it definitely is one where I could see Cardiff getting the win. Moving on then to Coventry, take on Hull at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Coventry, yeah, they come into this one off the back of that 4-1 win against Sheffield United, a massive surprise result. And you know, they're still only 3 points off the playoffs, so it's not over yet. It is going to be tough for them, but yeah, it's definitely not over yet. And they take on a Hull side who, let's face it, aren't in the greatest run of form, but you know, they don't need to be that miles clear of relegation. But yeah, I just feel like this Coventry side is so inconsistent, they can fail to pick up a win here. I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on then to Luton, who host Preston at Kenilworth Road, and Luton will be absolutely desperate to get a victory in this one, really, won't they? After that 2-1 defeat to QPR, they've actually lost 3 of their last 4 in all comps to Luton, which is surprising, but you know, still definitely in and around the playoff race against the Preston side. But yeah, draw specialists at the moment, but for Luton, they'll see this as a massive opportunity to get back on track, and I think they will too. I think it'll be a tight game, but I think Luton will get back on track. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to the Den, where Mill will take on Huddersfield at the Den. I already said that, but yeah, Millwall 2 draws on the trot, but you know, on a really decent run, haven't lost since the beginning of February, and even now it's Fulham away. So yeah, they'll come into this one in full of confidence, but Huddersfield, it'll be interesting to see how that late collapse against West Brom will affect their confidence, because obviously that was really, really bad. So yeah, they do need to recover from that desperately, and we'll see if they can do or not. But for this one, I'm going to say a draw, to be honest. I don't think there'll be much to separate the two sides. Moving on then to the City ground, where Nottingham Forest host QPR, and Forest off the back of 2 wins on the trot, and yeah, looking really, really good. Like Huddersfield, Millwall, haven't lost since January, even for them, so they're even better against QPR side, who had a really great recovery win against Luton. So they'll be coming into this one full of confidence. 2 sides that definitely are still chasing the playoffs firmly. So yeah, it's an interesting one which you do feel could go either way, and I'm going to say 1-1. I'm kind of torn on this one. Moving on then to Peterborough, and they host Swansea at the Western Home Stadium. Peterborough, yeah, the form isn't too great, is it? But you know, they are unbeaten too. Then 6 points off the relegation zone. I mean, like, it's hard, but it's not impossible with the form of the team in and around them. The Swansea side are in mid-table, and yeah, they kind of just seem to have given up, don't they? Just not doing a lot at the moment, really, at all. So yeah, I can see Peterborough nicking a win, and that's all they need, really. 1 win and they're right back in it. I'm going to say 1-0. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, thoughts, comments, down below. Follow us in the description for daily football news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.